Today I will be showing you how to make this hippo, and you will need 8 white rubber bands, 2 black for the eyes or whatever color you want, about 187 purple rubber bands if that's the color you want to do. So let's get started. First let's make the front legs, and you're going to take 3 single rubber bands, and you can set it from this peg to that peg, and you can make both legs at the same time if you want. Just set it on the opposite side. I already made one, so you're going to have to pause the video to make the other one. So this is 3 single rubber bands. We're going to come down 4 times, and we're going to make his front of his foot. We're making it a little thicker, so we're taking a single and looping it 2 times to create 3 loops, and we're doing that 3 times. So that's 3 single rubber bands, looping it twice to create 3 loops. And I'm going to go under all those cap bands, grabbing the bottom 3 single rubber bands and looping it onto itself, creating teardrops. And you'll want to pause the video to make the other one, or you can do it quickly and put it on your holding hook for later. There's my second one, and put it on the opposite side of your hind leg, and I'll make the hind leg with you right now, and you'll also need to pause to make the second one. Same thing, we're taking 3 single rubber bands, putting it 4 down, and to make it a little thicker, we are putting it for the thigh, 3 single rubber bands to the side, and for his foot, taking 3 single and looping it twice to make it extra thick. So that's 1, 2 single rubber bands. The third one, same thing, taking it and looping it twice to create 3 loops. And let's go ahead and loop it onto itself. And for the hind legs, you want to remember to connect your thigh, so the second one before that last set of rubber bands, you want to bring it over and connect your thigh. And you can go ahead and finish it up and pause the video to make your other thigh. Once that's done, I'm going to make his eyes. For the eyes, I'm making it black, so I'm taking a single black, looping it 3 times to create 4 loops. Taking a single white, double it, and bringing the black onto the white. And you can do the penguin eye if you want. I'm choosing to do this eye. So that's a single black, looping it 3 times on your hook to create 4 loops. Take a single white, double it, and pulling it right onto your hook. And we are taking a single purple and getting your eye onto that single purple. And put it aside for later. Now let's make the bottom of the mouth. For the bottom, we are taking 2 single rubber bands at the top of our loom. Put it on either side, the left or the right. 2 single rubber bands from the first to the second. taking a single rubber band from the center third to the side second peg, 2 single rubber bands down from the second to the third, repeat on the other side, and then we are closing it up, 2 single rubber bands from the third to the fourth center, and repeat on the other side. Take 2 single rubber bands and close up our mouth from the third to the fourth peg. And let's go ahead and cap off this end peg there. Do it 4 times. If you can't do it 4, go ahead and do it 3. And now let's add the bottom of the tooth. And this one I made it extra thick, and you don't have to. I'm making a thinner version. So we're making a knot. So taking our single at the end of our loom, taking the single, cross it over to the last peg, twist it back, and then looping it onto the peg like my daughter showed me. And now we are going to pull the bottom over and then the other side bottom over. That'll be one tooth. The second one, same thing. Putting on your last peg, twist it, creating an 8, twist it back, and looping it onto itself, and pulling the bottom rubber bands over to create your knot. And don't tighten it. We want our tooth to show, so take it off of your peg. So there's your bottom teeth. Now we are attaching, put your hook through the loops and attaching it on the third pegs on the side. Just one on each side. There should be 2 rubber bands, just loop it right onto there. Same thing on the other side. Put it through the loops and pull it right onto those 2 pegs there. Now let's put some holding rubber bands, taking a single, double, and we'll pull it on these 2 pegs, the third peg from the top on the sides, across, right under the tooth is fine. Taking a single, double, it'll be from the second side peg to the second side peg. And now we are going to go under the cap band, grabbing the top 2 and looping it up onto itself to the center peg, like that, creating the teardrop. On the second, third peg, grab the top single, looping it to whichever side it goes to, and let's finish the other side. Now you're finished with the center looping, go back under the cap band, grab the top 2 and looping it onto itself. Go back in, grab the last 2 and looping it onto itself, and you can finish either side now. Just reach under the tooth, bottom 2, and looping it onto itself. And once you've done this, we want to go ahead and take it off of our loom carefully and put it aside for later. Put it on a holding hook or extra holding hook. And this is the bottom of his mouth, and we don't want to put the top on the same side of your hook, so you'll need quite a few holding instruments to make this project. So let's make the top of the mouth. Top of the mouth, 2 single rubber bands from the side peg, down twice on both sides, 2 single rubber bands at a time. Now let's go ahead and close it off. Bring it from the side to the center the side third peg to the center fourth. That's the top of our mouth. And taking 2 single rubber bands down the center to close up your mouth. And let's go ahead and push it all the way down. And now let's cap this off, looping it twice to create 3 loops. And now we're going to create the nostril, taking a single rubber band. If you want to make it a different color, you can. Take a single, loop it 3 times to create 4 loops. Take another single, double it, and bringing those rubber band onto that single we doubled and put it on your hook. That's one nostril. Let's go ahead and make the other. Same thing, single, loop it 3 times to create 4 loops. Take a single, double it, getting those rubber bands onto your hook, like that. Taking a single and pulling it right onto your single rubber band, the nostril. And we are placing it from the third peg from the top to the other third peg from the top. Like that. And let's split out our nostril, and we want it to face down between this rubber band right there. And now let's make the top tooth, or top teeth. Go ahead and take a single, loop it 4 times to create 4 loops.